Let's get straight into it here with the Fed balance sheet versus BTC chart we have here on BitcoinMagazinePro.com. Now what I'll do is just quickly go over here because today, as I film this, December the 1st, in about 3 hours time, we're going to see Fed Chair Jerome Powell address the market, and many are anticipating this is going to be not only the end of QT, but potentially leading on to further federal interest rate cuts. We can see that the odds for the December rate cut have now increased about 86%. And as we can see, Bitcoin becoming more and more of a macroeconomic asset. If this is to start slowly flatlining this federal balance sheet, which has been on contraction for a number of years now, if history is anything to go by, this is going to be a pretty bullish time for Bitcoin. What we can do is just go over to TradingView here, if I press that button, and what we can see marked on the chart are the 3 previous instances where the federal balance sheet has either begun flatlining or started increasing. We can see the end of quantitative tightening doesn't necessarily mean that we're about to see huge stimulus entering the economy, a huge amount of federal balance sheet expansion, but at the very least, it's going to result in this flatlining effect where at least we're not contracting anymore. So as I said, if we go to TradingView, we can see the 3 previous instances here, the 27th of October 2010, which almost immediately resulted in a huge exponential bull rally for the Bitcoin price action. The 26th of September 2012, which once again almost immediately resulted in a huge Bitcoin bull rally in this double peak 2013 cycle. And then it hasn't occurred again since 2019. So we can see there was a big gap, about 7 years between those signals, and now about 6 years between these subsequent signals as well. Now this 2019 one isn't exactly a perfect signal. It doesn't line up as the other 2 previous ones as historically have been as bullish. I didn't word that very well, but you know what I'm getting to. It wasn't immediately a bullish catalyst for the price action. We did have this COVID 2020 dump, so it was maybe a bit of an anomalous signal due to the fact we were all in a bit of a global pandemic at the time, but it did eventually result in the Bitcoin price going from around $3,500 to well over $66,000, $67,000. And as I said, as I film this today, in a couple hours time, we're anticipating the same thing to happen again. December the 1st, 2025, the end of quantitative tightening. And hopefully the result that will result in the eventual expansion in the federal balance sheet, more liquidity injected into the system. But on the topic of liquidity, many people have been tracking global M2 money supply. It's something we've been doing on the channel as well, looking at the influence of growing liquidity on the market and how that has influenced the Bitcoin price action. And I don't have to show you the chart. Recently, there's been a little bit of a divergence where the global M2 money supply has been increasing, yet Bitcoin has been stagnating. Now, many people have maybe dismissed the idea of the liquidity cycle, the true influence of global M2 influencing the Bitcoin price action. And now we're maybe looking towards something like the traditional business cycle. And we can measure this using something like the PMI, the US Purchasing Managers Index. Now, what this is doing is looking at essentially the confidence in the manufacturing sector. It's looking at the outperformance of the economy, how much ordering is happening, that type of thing. But Bitcoin's not been around too long. We only really have a couple instances where we can see the influence of this rapidly increasing or decreasing on the Bitcoin price action. Now, this is a topic I have actually covered a number of times in our weekly analysis reports for site subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, why not? Now is the best time to do it, given the fact we've given a huge amount of discounts for existing subscribers, new subscribers, anyone that wants a bit of a discount, go on to BitcoinMagazinePro.com and we can sort you out. But what I did in an analysis piece a few weeks ago is look at the influence of the US Purchasing Managers Index versus the 12-month returns of the S&P 500, which gives us a fair bit of understanding of the influence on this. And now the correlation is pretty clear and obvious to see. When the US PMI is increasing, which is this green line here, it has almost always coincided exactly with the S&P 500 having outsized yearly returns. And the same is true for the downside. Once we see this US Purchasing Managers Index decreasing, it results in the S&P 500 usually having these big drawn out recessions or at least periods of underperformance relative to its recent average. So is there any way we can predict this? Because of course, if we're about to see federal balance sheet expansion or at least no more contraction, that might lead to some more liquidity injections into the system, more confidence in the manufacturing sector. I know I speak too fast. I speak too fast for me. I'm just too excited. So how can we try and predict this? Well, one way we can look at that is look at the ratio of copper to gold. Now, this is again from the industry reports we release on a weekly basis for site subscribers. But what I'll do is if I just go over to TradingView here, what we can see is if I go to this chart here, this red line is this copper versus gold ratio. And the green line is once again the US Purchasing Managers Index. Now, if we can just zoom out, we can see they are almost one-to-one correlated, but oftentimes this copper to gold ratio almost acts as a little bit of a leading indicator. We can see, so just back here in 2020, this actually bottomed out just prior to the US Purchasing Managers Index beginning to rally massively to the upside. And we can also see on multiple occasions as well, this is actually topped out, such as here in 2014, before the US Purchasing Managers Index topped out as well, which resulted in subsequently some decreasing price action. Now, what I've got here is the white lines on chart aligned with the white instances, the white lines we've got on this chart. So the three previous instances of federal balance sheet contraction, quantitative tightening coming to an end. And we can see in all of these instances, they actually resulted in this copper to gold ratio at least having a short-term move to the upside. Now, this is on a weekly chart here, so we can see as this occurred in October of 2010, it didn't top out until about January, nearly February of 2011. Back here, September 2012, this actually resulted in an increase until about December 2013. So it usually results in a fairly prolonged bounce in this ratio that lasts at least a couple of months. But we can see here in 2019, again, this is a bit of an anomalous instance on the data here, where we did have a short-term relief bounce before this rallied lower. But this again may have been influenced heavily by the COVID 2020 pandemic. And right now, as I film this, as I said, we're on the cusp of the same signal occurring once again for the first time in over 6 years, which could signify the end of this rally to the downside, the end of this bear market we've seen in this ratio of copper to gold, which could again align with a massive rally and increase in the US Purchasing Managers Index, which, if history is anything to go by, will result in increasing equity prices and subsequently increasing Bitcoin prices. I got there in the end. So just to summarize, quantitative tightening ends today. Well, yesterday, as you watch this video. And we can see historically there have only been 3 previous instances throughout Bitcoin's life cycle where this has occurred, and 2 out of the 3 of them resulted in an almost immediate bull run for the price action, with the third, which was in 2019, potentially being interrupted due to the COVID 2020 dump, but it did eventually also result in considerably higher prices for Bitcoin. And what we can do is tying that into Bitcoin's relationship with the traditional business cycle as indicated by the US Purchasing Managers Index, or US PMI, we can see that the recent lackluster performance has likely been partially caused by dwindling economic performance and confidence. We can see as Bitcoin has been lagging behind and diverging compared to equities and commodities, maybe it hasn't been Bitcoin underperforming, but maybe it's been those traditional markets outperforming, just judging by the US Purchasing Managers Index and the historical correlation between the S&P 500 yearly returns and that US PMI, for example. So what we could see is this may be about to change. Looking at the copper to gold ratio, it looks like it may be bottoming out, especially when we look at the historical instances of the same signal occurring, but do take into consideration that even though historically this has been a good signal, this may have also coincided with just Bitcoin being at the tail end of a bear market. The 2019 signal, as we saw, didn't result in any immediate bounce, even though the copper to gold ratio did have a short-term relief rally. This could take weeks or even months before we really see this have a positive influence on the Bitcoin price action. And at that point, we may be aligning with a bit of a bear cycle bottom as well. But I just think it's an important metric to look towards, especially considering, like we've seen recently, the underperformance of Bitcoin, especially compared to traditional assets. So hopefully this could be at least the start, maybe not the immediate catalyst, but like I said, the start of a longer term trend change, which could have a positive influence on risk on and speculative markets. As always, thank you all very much for watching. Let me know your comments below on YouTube, and on social media. Let me know if you do think that this is going to be a positive impact for Bitcoin, or if you think that this is just something that's coincidentally aligned with Bitcoin's bull markets historically and isn't something we should really be paying attention to. As I said, let me know in the comments below and on social media. And as well as that, make sure you like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you check out Bitcoin Magazine Pro for all the API access, private indicators, TradingView scripts, indicator alerts, all that good stuff, traditional sales pitch. Especially now, we've got some discounts going on, all that good stuff. As always, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.